Hey, True Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. I just saw a headline that compelled me to make this video post. It says, "Are you going to kill me?" up above. It's in regards to the Boston Marathon bombing trial. This young man, supposedly in part responsible. Of course, his older brother was shot, all part of the theatrics. Anyway, carjack victim. Tamerlan said he was Boston bomber by Ray Sanchez and Ann O'Neill. Don't you believe him? So here we go. You know who did it? I did it. And I just killed a policeman in Cambridge, Dun Mang testified. I mean, who would say that? He's robbing the car and letting him know everything he's up to? I mean, this stuff is just so ridiculous. But anyway, once upon a time, I used to look at names like this, Dung Mang, and I'd go, is that even a real person? Doesn't sound real to me. I mean, maybe it is. But anyway, now I know Gematria, and I see a name like Dun Mang, and I put it to the test. Done. D is 4. Use the 21st letter. 2 plus 1 becomes 3. Ends the 14th. 1 plus 4 becomes 5. 4 plus 3 plus 5 equals 12. Do the same thing for Mang. 21. 12 plus 21 is 33. And once upon a time, this bombing happened at a finish line of 666 Boylston Street at a time of 11 minutes till 3, or 2:49. They like that number 49 too, 11 till 3. And it happened in Massachusetts, one of 3 states with a 33 gematria. Sarnov himself has a life number of 33. Here he is. Born July 22nd, 722. What do we know about that number in 227? Having to do with circles and cycles. When you divide 22 by 7, you get the number for pi. 3.14 approximately. Anyway, this birthday is a life number of 33. Here we go. 7 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 3 sums to 33. His name has a gematria of 74. 33 and 74. This is like Jesus on the cross. Here he is, our martyr for the Boston Marathon bombing hoax. You know? This continued coding. The witnesses even have the names as they making them up. Dun Mang. So check this out, True Seeker. You know, we're having this trial right now. It's not even a legit trial, but our media presents it as such. The people in the courtroom, who are probably real judges, real lawyers, they presented it as such. It shows you that all people in this society can be bought and paid for, to the extent that they'll deliberately lie to a nation of 300 million people. When you think about it, it takes a lot of gall to do something like that. How much would you have to be paid to be willing to lie to a whole nation to deceive them? You know? I'm telling you, there's no price. There's no price. I couldn't be bought. I wouldn't do anything for any amount of money, any amount of power to deceive a whole nation. I mean, I don't know how these people sleep. Something happened to these people as kids, I suppose. They hate everybody in this world, apparently. But anyway, I want to get more into the court system and Jesus and how all this stuff connects. Let's look at the word law itself. Law. 3-letter word. A lot of important 3-letter words, including God himself. Law. 12 plus 1 plus 23 sums to 36. And what do we know about the number 36? If you add up 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 all the way up to 36, it sums to 666. And out of all these hoaxes come new laws, new regulations, less liberties, less truth. And all along the way, there's judges and police officers and people who work for law deceiving us. And the fact that our language has this coded within tells that the truth was known long before English, and in fact it was arrogantly coded in. You would think if all this stuff was known, we'd be above it. We'd go a better way. So you think deeper and you realize that the people who are behind this, they're true believers. They always have been. They think this is right, to control with dishonesty. and make martyrs of men who don't need to be martyrs. Martyrs to what? Check this out, Truth Seeker. In the Bible, it's Pontius Pilate that sentences Jesus essentially to crucifixion in Herod's court. Pontius is a 33 word. His last name is a 27 word. We know about that too. Herod's, the plural, is 33. Herod, the singular, is 32, like the American number. The word court is 23, the flip of that. Courts with the S exception, 33. You know, this is why I call 32 the America number. It has these connections from date of independence, supposedly, to who it got its independence from, United Kingdom. So, remember, Jesus has this gematria of 74. The word cross does. So does the word Messiah. Whoops, Truth Seeker. I did not mean to click install. Anyway, in the 47th book of the Quran, it's where Muhammad is mentioned, 74. Pinnacle equals 74. You think about this nation's birthday, the 4th of July, 74. In a courtroom, these numbers are also present. The word judge sums to 47, like Christian with Pythagorean gematria, like the word obey, like the word authority. All my life, from the age of 7 on, all my report cards said great student, asked great questions, has problem with authority. And it's still the same today, 24 years later. I can't stand authority. I've never thought I needed any authority. I feel like I've always just known how to be a good person. I just abide by the golden rule. You know? Simple. Simple. The word simple sums to 74. Just like English. Just like gematria. When you decode using the alphabet, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, all the way up to Z is 26, that's called simple English gematria. All those words sum to 74. And if you're starting to think that lots of words sum to 47 and 74, take the 50 states, for example. Only one sums to 74. The 33rd, Oregon. Think about that. Jesus was crucified on the cross at the age of 33. Cross and Jesus equals 74. Yeshua equals 74. The English translation Joshua sums to 74. The word judge is 47. Jesus said not to judge. The word jury is 74. And juries are typically made up of 12 people. When I think of Jesus and 12, what do you think of? Of course, 47 and 74 have numerology of 11. And again, 1 plus 1 equals 2. In courtrooms, there's also lawyers. The word lawyer has a gematria of 84 with simple English, just like United States of America sums to 84 with Pythagorean gematria. It's a nation of laws and lawyers. Our current president's birthday is August 4th. He's said to be a lawyer. Obama in Jewish gematria sums to 84. This year on his birthday, his past birthday, his 53rd, was the 9th of Av. And on that day, James Brady died, who had a gun bill named in his honor in 84 and had a shooter with a Hinckley name. Hinckley sums to 84. This coding is so deep. Christ sums to 77 like the word court. 77. And think about what happens in a courtroom. You know? Just like what happened to Jesus in the story of the Bible. Men made decisions over his life, and he died for the decisions of other men. You know? How does history favor Pontius Pilate? And that's what happens every day in this country and all throughout this world that has this type of legal system. You know? Innocent men, good men go before corrupt men. People who wear costumes. We're going to get into costumes. You know, a judge dresses up in his costume and he feels like he has more power. Somebody tells you to stand at attention when he comes into the room, like he's some great person. The man who upholds the law. The 666 in his big black gown. Did you know that that's why there's 9 Supreme Court justices? It's this 9-6 thing. There's 330 viewing seats in the Supreme Court audience. It's all these numbers, Truth Seeker. It's always been the same. 330, 33. Flip that 9 upside down, you got a 6. 9's an important number in itself as well. But look at this. Our courtrooms are a recreation of this. Men aren't getting crucified, but they're getting their lives destroyed every day by judges. I was just in a courtroom, and I don't want to talk about myself. I'll talk about all the people that went before me. I saw a 19-year-old have to go before the judge for sexual solicitation. 19 years old. His attorney asked for his bail to be set at $7,500 so he could get out, return to his work, his normal life. That could be afforded. The prosecuting state attorney had no problem with that, agreed to the $7,500. The judge said, nope, $40,000. Another person's was $25,000. Their attorney tried to get it to, I think it was $5,000. Again, the prosecuting attorney had no problem with that. Judge said, nope, $25,000. Can you see what's happening, Truth Seeker? It's money. People's lives are being burned over money for who? The people who invest in this system. We live in a nation with privatized prisons. That means people are investing and making money off prisoners. And how do you get prisoners? You do exactly what's done to people in this society. Humiliate them, incarcerate them for no reason. Make it so they can't afford to get themselves out. Have lawyers that are so expensive that only well-to-do can afford. People are saying, but law school is expensive. But again, why is law school so expensive? As much time as every American spends in a classroom, we should all graduate being lawyers and doctors and farmers. What did they have us doing? Learning false history. Getting used to writing our name, date, and filling out a bunch of useless information. Now look at us all. Doing jobs that nobody needs. The wealthiest people I know are all working at Microsoft, helping build the technology to spy on us and create the greater spy state. Of course, these things are legal. Meanwhile, the 19-year-old who, went out and tried to get laid, well, he's in jail on $40,000 bail. Who made these rules? This is insanity. Why is prostitution even illegal? I thought it was freedom. Just because you don't agree doesn't mean that they have to agree with you. I wish we could just get over that as a society. If you want people to adopt your values, show them why your values are the best. Yeah, there's things on a moral level that I don't like about prostitution either, but, again, who am I to judge? Who is anyone to judge? That's the point I'm trying to make. These are the things I like about Jesus in the Bible, even though I don't necessarily believe. I know Jesus said not to judge. I agree. I do judge. I'm a hypocrite. But I know it's still not good. I know that there's a reason everyone is the way there is. Right now there's a guy terrorizing my chemtrails video. He's like a robot. Just keeps posting the craziest nonsense. But I know there's a reason he's the way he is. Maybe this is the best job he can get. Or the best thing he can do with his time. I feel bad for him. Feeling bad. Maybe that's even a judgment. But yeah, just look at these numbers. Have you ever seen the movie They Live, this 80s movie where this guy gets glasses and can read everything a new way for the first time? Great movie. He starts to see that billboards, all they really say is obey, consume. God is your authority. Or government is your God. Or things like that. Just creepy stuff. But it's just like this Gematria. Ever since I learned this, it's made me think of that movie. I see the courtroom for what it is. Remember, Sarnav brother. We started there with the trial. 33 life number, 74 name. No coincidence. I was just talking about costumes, you know? Police officers, they wear costumes, uniforms. Look at the gematria of costume and uniform. Costume, 96 big way, 33 small way. 96 big way for uniform, 42 small way. Where have we seen these numbers before? If you do the S exception, costume's also 42. But 96, that's the Freemason number. Satanism is 96. Law is 666. Judges coming in costumes. If you want to call it a uniform, whatever. Do you see how this all comes together? I've always seen that we live in a sick joke. That's why I love that I figured out this gematria thing. It just shows you how sick the joke really is, how well thought out it is. It's why we live in such a well-oiled machine. For those of us who see, I mean, we're bugs in the system, you know? We're the squeaks that haven't been oiled yet. Costumes, people in costumes, people in uniforms. Every police officer is a police officer because they don't know better. Same with every judge. Judge, 47. Jury, 74. No coincidence. In the English language, the word fruit is 74. The word candy is 47. The word beauty is 74. The word beast is 47. Beauty and the Beast. Who made that? Disney made that into a movie. The company obsessed with 33. That's pretty much case closed, Truth Seeker. You want a new 33 word for the day? It's checkmate. Checkmate sums to 33. Chess is all full of 33 in gematria as well. And anyway, this case on our legal system, this is a checkmate right here. In my local court, I'm going to come right back and show you something. Check this out, Truth Seeker. It's probably much the same in your Truth Seeker, so I just want to close out here with this last point. I live in this town called Bothell. And true story, it was a 4th of July where I realized this town was really weird and like no other place I'd been. The people here got crazy on the 4th of July, and at the time I told my girlfriend I was pretty sure this town was possessed. Lo and behold, I didn't know gematria back then, and the town where I thought these people were possessed sums to 74, a lot like July 4th. Since then, I've gotten to know the town more, including the presiding judge, Michelle Gelson, and her name gematria is 74. The first time I ended up in court to meet Michelle Gelson was after Officer Martin ticketed me just days after I got my new truck, and it seemed like he pulled me over for nothing, because he pulled me over after I'd been sitting at a red light, and he told me the reason he was pulling me over is because I had been looking at my cell phone while at the light, which wasn't even true. So anyway, I went to court to fight it because it was just a bogus charge. It seemed like he just wanted to look at my new truck. He made several comments about how nice my truck was and it'd be a shame if I wrecked it. And I was thinking, what in the world? So anyway, I went before this judge. She decided to uphold it. I gave her a piece of my mind. She threatened to have me put in a cell for being in contempt of court. I don't like authority, Truth Seeker, if I didn't mention that already. But anyway, I ended up having to pay this ticket, but I also got to notice that the name judge was 74. So I said, well, at least I learned that today. These Masons, they're closer than we think. And I know this is no coincidence. There's a nearby town here called Snohomish. If you go in Snohomish's courtroom, there's a painting of 3 judges from the past. All 3 of these men have name gematria of 74. Remember, judge is 47, jury's 74. The officer who ticketed me that day was literally named Officer Martin, which I just had to laugh at. At the time, I was saying this got to be a coincidence. But now in hindsight, I'm not so sure. I always see Officer Martin has people pulled over on this corner. This might be a major gimmick they got running here for the town's police. Wouldn't surprise me in the least. Also, the day I got this ticket, about a half hour before I got pulled over, I had a Freemason come park behind me because he had the Freemason license plates in a nice big truck while I was filling up my gas. And he approached me and made conversation, and I told him, I asked him how I could get some Freemason license plates. And then he said, oh, well, you have to be a Freemason and yada, yada, yada. He thought I'd make a good Freemason. And I almost felt like I was being recruited. It was a really weird experience. And later that same day, I got pulled over by Officer Martin. It just makes me wonder. Makes me wonder if these were separate coincidences. I hadn't been pulled over since I was 16 years old. I was 31 when I got pulled over. It'd been 15 years. But yeah, the next time you go in a courtroom, take your Gematria skills with you and see what you find. I think we might have a major, probably national conspiracy here. I bet you there's so many judges with this type of name, Gematria. These people are born into their positions. All right, Truth Seeker. I'll tell you a little bit more about this town before I say goodbye. Bothell, old town. It's got the Sammamish River that runs along it. That's a river with a 33 name. Indian word. The word Indian sums to 33. And for this region, there's lots of other town names that have this same gematria of 74. It shows me that the area is highly Masonic. It's on the 47th parallel, that 4774. So, yeah, it might. Now that I think about it, it makes me wonder if it's even part of the reason I've discovered all this. Maybe just being around all these people with all these Masonic connections, maybe I'm picking up on their energy fields. You know what I mean? Not exactly sure how everything works in this world, but I do find it weird that I moved here and have had all these strange things happen to me since. Once upon a time, it was the 4th of July, if I didn't say so already, where I thought this town was possessed. So to find out it sums to 74, it's just all too weird. And making matters even more weird, I moved here on January 13th, 113, Friday the 13th, 2012. Didn't know a thing about numerology or gematria back then. All right, until next time.